All right, the Trump administration is putting ICE agents in airports across the country as travelers wait in extremely long lines. What do they do to make the lines shorter, like the ICE agents?
Well,
what is their function? Do we know? Okay. But on Capitol Hill, there could be a deal to fund the Department of Homeland Security before Congress leaves town for a 2-week recess. That's despite President Trump again yesterday telling Republicans any funding for the agency has to be tied to the Save America Act. We'll dig into all of that.
Well, we can dig as long as we want. That's just not going to happen.
Okay, there's that. Meanwhile, here in New York.
I'm just saying, I'm not even, that's just a fact. You ask John Thune and other, they'll just say that's just not going to happen.
Well, he's hoping for it.
Do you know where your original birth certificate is?
Well, actually, I do.
Oh,
yes.
good.
The original?
Yeah, you need the original.
The original?
Yeah, well, they're going to kick you off the voters' rolls if you don't have it.
Remember where I was born.
You know,
so
Willie,
it's not like
I seriously, for most of Mika's life, she's not known
New York or Washington?
where she was born.
She couldn't remember.
I said, where you were born? Where you born? Her
Yeah.
mom was like, oh, I don't know. You know it. It was the 60s.
New York, Washington.
It ended up.
That's what I always said. Well, I think I did a deep dive into this, and I haven't. Now I can't remember.
I think she ended up
like mother,
being
like daughter.
born in Manhattan. But
was it Manhattan?
She ended up being born in
it might have been Jersey.
Started somewhere else.
I think they were living in Georgetown.
You guys were living in the swamps of Jersey. It might have been
This is a picture of
Georgetown.
her.
See, but here's a great.
Wow.
Yeah. Not only does Mika not know where her original birth certificate is, which under the SAVE Act would get her kicked off the voters' rolls, and then she'd have to come back and re-register, and she would find out on Election Day that she could not vote. And by the way, don't be skeptical. Seriously, she had no idea where she was born. She still doesn't really know.
Okay, but that's not the story this morning.
Did your mom know? Sorry.
Yeah.
She never really knew.
Yeah.
It was the 60s. But she was an artist. I mean, come on.
But you didn't change your last name, so that'll help you. Apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. All right.
So anyway, but they're really saying this Trump Act will kick people off the voters' roll. They have to go back and they will have to find an original birth certificate or buy a passport, which a lot of people can't even afford groceries now. Yeah. And so it's very deliberate attempt to keep people off the rolls. You know,
Republican or Democrat.
By the way, I've always said voter ID, that's fine. Driver's license or another government issue deal. Or if the voter registration office wants to let people get that's even better, because then you're giving people who don't have a photo ID, government issued photo ID. But this thing is crazy, and it's never going to pass what they're talking
And
about.
the way the president and others are trying to sell it is this is just a voter ID bill. All you have to do is have a picture ID, and that's all we're asking. That's not true.
It's just not true.
There's much more in there. Restrictions on mail-in voting and what you're talking about here. These things that are buried in, they want you to think it's just voter ID. It is not. There are other restrictions on voting that go deep within this. And also, meanwhile, the president is lumping all this other stuff into the bill about trans athletes and everything else. It's this catch-all omnibus thing
it's a colander.
It's just it's not going to work.
Okay, meanwhile, here in New York.
And Republicans know it's not going to work, and the chaos in the airport keeps getting worse. The TSA agents work for free right now.
And ICE agents are milling around with their masks off, which is apparently not good for them because people are taking their pictures. They don't like that. I mean, it's just awkward. Anyhow, I still don't know what they're doing there. What's the function of? Are they scanning our bags? I wouldn't want that. Okay.
What's in your bag?
Well, they don't appear to be very good at their job.
I mean, my bag. Open it up, man.
No, I wouldn't want them scanning bags. I want TSA agents scanning bags.
All right, meanwhile, here in New York, the main runway at LaGuardia Airport
ICE
remains
agents are trained
closed.
for nothing.
My flight today canceled this morning after yesterday's deadly crash involving an Air Canada jet and an emergency vehicle. We're going to play for you the audio from the air traffic controller immediately after the collision, where he said, I messed up.
Along with Joe, Willie, and me, we have the co-host of our 9 a.m. hour, staff writer at The Atlantic, Jonathan Lemire, former spokesperson for the U.S. mission to the United Nations, Hagar Shamali. She also worked at the National Security Council and Treasury Department. Good to have you on board this morning.
Why do you think Mika doesn't want them check bag?
It's not my bag. I just don't want.
Is it like when the Eagles flew into like the Bahamas and Irving Azoff had to like save them by paying off the customs guy?
Just Keith Richards in Toronto in '78. You know,
they'll find dog treats, maybe a leash, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But the point is, what are they? Does anyone know? Okay, I'm going to stick to it. Does anyone know what ICE agents are doing at the nation's airport? What is their job?
And are they making the lines shorter?
They're making the lines
allegedly
shorter?
working on crowd.
They're going to
not.
take over passport stamping? I don't know. I flew into Newark 2 days ago. I didn't see any ICE agents.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, I've
actually,
seen a
Mika,
few.
can I just answer your question?
Yes, please.
Donald Trump did it to provoke you and people like you. And the fact that you've asked the question 14 times in the first 5 minutes
It's
means
a legitimate question.
he wins. Ask it again, he wins again.
No, I don't think he's going to. I think ICE has been a very not winning proposition for this president.
No,
So continue, please.
I'm just saying, as far as owning the libs, it's working for him, even though it is hurting Republicans.
Right.
What happened yesterday in San Francisco hurts Republicans. ICE in the airport hurts Republicans. The Republicans, even Ron Johnson, went on Fox yesterday and said we had this deal done. And the president killed it. John Thune said we had a deal done. And the president reportedly yelling at John Thune about it in this very heated conversation. Yeah, but you won't stop saying the same thing over and over and over again. The point is, all the Republicans in the Senate, or almost all of them, want TSA agents paid. They don't want ICE in the airports. If they're running for office this fall, it is a terrible political move for them. So, yes, Donald Trump may be owning the libs, maybe making my wife, who has contents inside of a bag that I have no idea what's in that bag, like making her really, there's the bag. It's a big one.
I got it at a thrift store.
I don't know.
I love it so much. Thank you, Joe.
What are you hiding, Mika?
I don't know.
We could go through it.
It was John Kennedy. What did I say?
Yeah, John Kennedy.
Yeah, it was John Kennedy. Yeah,
On
no,
Fox.
Ron Johnson definitely wouldn't say that. It was John Kennedy. So anyway, it's horrible for the Republicans what's happening in the airports. You know, somebody scanned Atlanta's airport, and it was even more chaotic than usual. And the caption was, "This is what Washington looks like when Republicans run everything." And Republicans are very aware of that fact. But right now, Donald Trump does not seem to care.
Yeah, Republican senators know that, which is why Thune went to the White House the last couple of days to try to get a deal. Trump said no. We are seeing, first of all, polls that suggest Republicans are taking more of the blame here for what's happening at the airport. Even anecdotally, those men on the streets or TV crews go to airports. Whose fault is this? Almost to a person. Donald Trump, Republicans.
Oh, no, he owns all of it.
That is happening. ICE agents there are only escalating the situation. And this is why yesterday Republicans met again, and they feel like there may be some progress made. They know this is a problem, and it's only going to get worse at the nation's airports. And we're seeing lines of hours long, whether it's Atlanta or Austin, LaGuardia. The list goes on as spring break continues to heat up and Easter holidays just around the corner. Yeah. So they know that they need to get this done, and they need to get done before the recess.
Well, I think what's happening at the nation's airport is sort of a metaphor for what's happening across the country with things falling apart and this president owning the problem. I don't think this is owning me or liberals in any way. I think this is a cell phone in the biggest way. If you look at the nation's airports, that's a frickin' mess. There's a huge piece in The Atlantic about our whole transportation air system just breaking down from all the reasons the president has put on the table. You go to the airport now and you see ICE agents, you're reminded of the ICE disaster across the country with these idiots slipping in the streets with phones and guns, at times people getting killed and getting hurt and people being ripped out of their homes, some of them American citizens. Doesn't matter, they all have rights. And now people get reminded of that when they go to the airport and deal with this, and they've got these guys walking around for the first time ever not wearing masks, and I don't think they're comfortable with it either.
Well, by the way, I say this doesn't appear to be a spring picnic for a lot of these ICE agents as well.
No, I just said that.
Who don't want to be in there. No, this is a genuinely bad idea for everybody involved. There, because, you have some professional ICE agents, and you've got some very unprofessional ICE agents, and you get pictures of guys with guns like here and there looking at
And
phones
still long lines.
in airports. The lines are very long. But this is like, you remember the Reese's peanut butter cup, two great tastes that go great together. You got chocolate and peanut butter, you get peanut butter. You know, this is two horrible political stories that are bound together
Just make it bigger
by
and more
Republicans,
visual.
where you have long lines at airport, and then you have ICE, which is the personification of the Republican Party's meltdown on mass deportation and immigration, Willie. And I can't even believe it. Republicans are putting those two stories together in a visual where you can just take a picture of chaos in America's airports and ICE. And Democrats are like, what did we do to deserve this? We don't deserve good things, but yet we're getting this. I think it's a reason why reports were last night Katie Britt was going off the floor and running, saying, I think we got a deal. Because Republicans know how horrible this is for Republicans who are running this fall.
Yeah, and when you say Republicans are putting these together, it's really Donald Trump who's putting these stories together. Because as you say, Republicans publicly, John Kennedy on Fox News, John Thune as well, but really privately are saying, this is a disaster. First of all, you're pushing ICE back into the headlines, which is terrible for us, and many people would argue terrible for the country. And you're putting us at risk now politically of having to defend the actions of having ICE in this place. When we're trying to get a deal, you have ICE agents in the airport. On the other side of that security line, you have TSA officers who don't make a lot of money to begin with, making no money now.
Yeah.
I was in the airports all week last week, and you just thank the people for the work they're doing because they show up for work
By the way,
most of
at
them
a time
without
of
getting
heightened tensions
paid.
for security around the world, the threat of terrorism
and people are,
going up.
It's
Head
crowded, and
everywhere.
people are hostile, and they're mad because they're late for their flight. And these are the
We also
TSA
need
agents bearing the
TSA.
brunt of that.
I've got to say, I feel so bad for those TSA agents, and all you can do is just thank every one of them, and they're kind of like, you know,
Not enough to check Mika's bag.
it's just terrible. And I thank them. I go, hey, I want to thank you. Listen, let me tell you, you're the, and I go, and I'm hoping Mika,
runs behind
with with her Johnny Depp blow bag, will run behind and make it to Miami through Miami.
Make the
corridor.
drop.
Make the drop at gate E47 or something. I want to know what's in your bag. I sincerely do.
All right.
I'm curious.
We need TSA. We don't need
We
ICE.
sure do.
And we don't need the president saying it's great. They can find undocumented immigrants while they're doing the job at the airport. Are you kidding me? Again, not a liberal own idiocy, political idiocy.
I think this.
At least we can see their faces while they break the law. I'm going to go to break now.
I think this is going to get resolved by today.
Needs to.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
This week, I think Donald Trump's going to get a bill. I'd be very surprised if he vetoes it, but if he does, he's not hurting the Democrats. He's hurting Americans, and he's hurting Republicans that have to run.
Well, this didn't go as planned.